welcome back. Millbrae Art and Wine Festival, MCTV here. Victoria Hunter with you. And we have another wonderful lady who does great things for Millbrae. The place is lousy with them, actually. But this particular lady, Christine Taylor, she's president of the National Education Fund.
Millbrae
Education Fund. I just think of Millbrae in national terms somehow. And basically, your mission, I would imagine, is to enrich the curriculum of public schools, provide money resources that the public schools don't normally have. Would that be correct?
That's correct. This used to be something that was thought of as a supplemental to the public school system. However, the state budget has been cut so drastically that the education foundations regionally are really providing fundamentally necessary components of education for our 21st century students. The state of California cut our budget so hard in 2007, they continue to do so. And so Millbrae Education Foundation is able to bring back music, technology incorporation into the classroom to give our kids a full education that the state of California is not providing for our kids.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's really sad because teachers have to buy their own supplies half the time, and they're not exactly making gobs of money in order to do that. But the Millbrae is such a wonderful community because everybody pitches in here. We just saw some lovely young ladies who provide the after-school enrichment supplement program, and now you're obviously providing the actual public schools with all of this.
We want to get those into the classroom on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I think all of us do.
Yes.
I mean, it's recognized that you are a better student if you have taken music. Your mind works better.
Absolutely.
Now, I just want to make a note here. Didn't you just have a recent event? What was that
Well,
you did?
We are, and currently right now we're in the middle of double donation days because we have community challenge grant sponsors like Provident Credit Union, One Martial Arts, the Lions, the Rotary. Everyone pitches in and matches donations that our families are giving. So right now, whenever our family gives a donation on behalf of their student, it gets matched and doubled by our challenge grant sponsors, which is an example of Millbrae being an amazing community.
Of course, that is so great.
It's fantastic.
And do you put on events and things like that too?
What the Millbrae Education Foundation does is try to do as much direct giving. When someone gives, we want it to go straight to the classroom.
Correct.
So every time we have an event, that raises our overhead. We try very hard to cut down on the number of events. We would like our parents and community to give directly at the beginning of the school year. And then we have one big event a year now, which is the walkathon. And we had our first all schools walkathon last year, and this year we're moving it to January, where there's kind of a lull in the community calendar. All 5 of our public schools come together and we walk for better education. Every year it's getting a little bit bigger, and we're extremely excited to have this event again. But that's really our big event of the year.
Where do you walk?
Now we're up at Taylor Middle School. The reason being, all 4 of our elementary schools go to Taylor Middle School, so we're really all in this together. The education at each elementary school impacts your child's education at Taylor Middle School and beyond. So we want, symbolically, we're all together at Taylor, and that's where we hold it.
Do you go into high school as well, or is this basically K through 12?
The Millbrae, it's called the Millbrae Elementary School District.
Elementary, okay.
And we're transitional kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. After that, the high school district takes over. So we're TK through 8.
How long has this organization been around?
This is the 9th year.
Wow.
This is the 9th year, and it started off with some incredible volunteers just wanting to get classroom aids, and it is building and building and building. And as we can see, the forecast of what the state of California is going to be providing to us, we see how this foundation needs to keep growing, keep growing. We don't have a parcel tax in Millbrae to supplement our public schools, so this has to make up for that and the deficit as well. And so we're extremely excited that all of our community comes together to do this, to raise that money, to give our kids the education they deserve.
It takes a village.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
And Millbrae's a great village.
It's the best. And it takes money. Money's not always the solution. In this
right.
particular case, it absolutely is.
Yes. If you could wave your magic wand and have whatever you wanted, how would you structure things? Would you do anything differently?
Well, what we're working towards now in our ideal situation is to have every family who is financially able to give their contribution for their child's education.
Right.
We ask for $500 per student because the deficit between what the Millbrae district receives and the California state average is well over $1,200. But if everyone can invest that $500 in their students' operating budget, the district can do amazing things. That's our ideal situation. We can also do it so that our families contribute $50 a month. That does the same thing over the course of a year,
exactly.
over the course of the school year. And ideally, once everybody does that, if every family who is financially able did that, we would have $900,000 by the middle of September.
Wow.
That's ideal. And our district could absolutely transform education immediately if that happens.
Well, the beauty of it is, of course, if you try to do something vis-a-vis the government, you have to go through these long processes. You'd have no guarantee things are going to happen. It's dependent upon sort of the will and the wisp of where people are thinking and whether it's important to them or not. But here's a way for, I have a child, I want the child to be in school, I want the school to be great. Now I can actually make a contribution that translates directly into that, and I don't have to bake any cookies.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that involvement in your schools is no longer what it used to be, and our PTAs bring that sense of community to each school.
Yes.
But the foundation is here to just shore us up financially.
Yes.
And it is absolutely a beautiful thing that we have so many families participating. We would like to continue that. We would like to build on it, and right now our district is spinning straw into gold.
Yes.
And we would like to give them just the gold, so maybe
they
can.
More straw.
Yeah. we just need the gold. Like let's bypass the straw phase and let's just give them the gold. They could transform this district. This district is amazing, incredible schools, but so much of it is based on volunteer time from staff, from parents, from community. That's not sustainable. We want to shore this up so that people can be hired and have reliable jobs, that our programs can come back strong, and that our kids don't have to wonder what they're getting from year to year.
Exactly, and a lot of parents, of course, are working.
Absolutely.
So the old ideas of baking cookies and doing all of these other things to contribute to the school, a lot of parents just don't have time.
Right, but the amazing thing is that our parents who do have the additional paying jobs outside of parenthood are the ones doing that. So often all of our volunteers on the board at the PTAs, almost all of these families are working families, and it's just so much to give, and we really just need to go back and say, why are we doing this? Because we don't have enough money. Let's do that. Let's start there.
Let's just cut to the chase.
Let's cut to the chase.
And get the money.
Absolutely.
And we'll worry about the cookies later.
The cookies are a fun bonus,
but
our child's education shouldn't be reliant upon a chocolate chip cookie, right?
Now there's a slogan. Child education should not be reliant on a chocolate chip cookie, no matter how good they are.
They could be, unless you're famous Amos, it's probably not going to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've been involved in this, I think you said, what, 8 years?
The foundation has been around for 9 years. This is my second year as president of the foundation, and I've been on the board for 3.5 years.
Right, and so this is what you do in your spare time?
Yes, exactly.
And you have children?
I have 2 children in the district. I'm a full-time student and I work, but I am so very happy to contribute my time to this because it makes a direct impact on the education of every child in our public school system, and it's an honor.
Well, it's not often you get a real A to B situation.
Right.
Normally it's very convoluted, it's not clear where things go.
Absolutely.
In this case, if I'm writing a check for my kid, I can see directly where that money goes, and it comes right back to my child in his or her school.
Precisely.
So it's just great. I mean, that's again one thing I love so much about Millbrae. You have this organization, you have the one with the after school organization,
and all of our schools PTAs as well.
Oh, right,
do so much for volunteer efforts and for buying the sort of things that the classroom needs.
Exactly.
And it does take a village, like you said before, and we all work very hard to make this our schools as excellent as possible and to support our staff as much as possible.
Yes. Well, now your children have no choice but to be fabulous.
That's exactly. No excuses, children.
No excuses.
So the one thing I would like to say is please visit millbraekids.org. That's our website. You can find out everything you need to know about the organization, and you can make your contribution. If you contribute by September 15th, our beautiful challenge grant sponsors will double it.
Fabulous. That's amazing.
It's so good.
Can you use PayPal?
You can use PayPal, you can use credit card, you can do a one-time contribution or a monthly contribution. And then September 14 and 15, we're also going to be accepting donations at all 5 of our schools. And our kids and families will be hearing more about that in the coming week.
Excellent. Well, it's very interesting to listen to all of these people like yourself who do all of this work and then say, oh, by the way, I'm a student and I work and I have kids.
Because it's incredibly important, and when you make that a priority in your life, it comes, you couldn't not do it. You have to do it.
Of course not. Of course not. Well, my dear, it's been great talking to you once again. Every time I do this, every year I do this, I'm always having so much fun doing it. I think we're going to have a MEF promo video right now. about your organization so people can learn more. But it's been wonderful to meet
good to
you.
meet you.
And I really appreciate
Thank
all
you.
of your work and the heart you show for the
Thank
kids.
you. And we appreciate MCTV.
Absolutely. We all appreciate MCTV.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
now
you very
let's
much.
learn a little bit more about your organization right now. Thank you again.
The Millbrae Education Foundation is an extremely important resource to the Millbrae School District. We partner to provide enrichment and supplemental programs for our students beyond the classroom walls.
Unfortunately, our district right now, funding is not where it needs to be, so the MEF steps up and helps us continue these programs for our children.
Millbrae is one of the lowest funded districts, not just in California, but locally. U.S. national average per student spending is about $11,000. The California average per student spending is about $8,500. And Millbrae only is funded for about $6,400 a year.
The PTAs pays for programs, they pay for field trips, they pay for a lot of enrichments where the MEF pays for salaries, they pay for teachers, they pay for things that the district can't afford to.
Our students are fortunate to have such a wonderful community where education is valued. Through their fundraising, we're able to offer so many things that we wouldn't be able to without their support.
Music is an extremely important program. It's a way for students to connect and learn in a different way and really become well-rounded and have a chance to experience the art of music. We have such a strong band program at Taylor, an orchestra, and now at the elementary schools for the last few years, due to MEF funding, we do have an elementary school music program where every student in our elementary schools receives music instruction. We also have a 5th grade band program as well.
It's very important for our children to be comfortable with all forms of technology, how to use technology to learn, to communicate, so they can go on throughout their education into their professional lives.
Particularly as a teacher, I know with the technology that we're using in the classroom, with students hands-on, doing writing, using the writer's workshop model, but being able to write on a computer, using research tools in Google Docs, creating oral presentations for their speaking and listening as well. It's really important.
I think music and technology are incredibly important for the growth and the creativity for the children.
I'd like to thank the MEF and all of their supporters for the wonderful resources that they've brought to our schools.
We thank the MEF very much as a district because we couldn't do it without them. Our programs, our music, our technology would not be able to go on without the MEF and their support and their hard work.
On behalf of the Millbrae Board of Trustees and the school districts, we thank MEF for their continued support, and we thank all of you. Our students deserve the best, and that is not an option for us. Thank you, Millbrae Education Foundation.
Thank you.
You're watching MCTV's coverage of the 46th Annual Millbrae Art and Wine Festival. MCTV would like to thank the following for their generous support of this program: the City of Millbrae, the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, Millbrae Lions, and Rotary. MCTV would also like to thank the following underwriters. This program would not be possible without you. A special thanks to our in-kind donors. Support your community television station by underwriting a show or a series and be seen by thousands of Millbrae viewers on TV and online. For more information, visit mctv.tv and click support, or email info@mctv.tv or call 259-2343.